welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another video of ours. Doing this one solo today. I'm going to go through the games from last weekend and then talk about the games upcoming as well. And we have some great games upcoming. Obviously, Friday and Monday as well. I won't go into Monday's games, so just Friday's games, to be honest with you. Cork City drew 1-1 with Drogheda United at Turner's Cross. Keating after 17. He's doing very well this season. I believe that's his fifth goal of the season. And a Gilchrist OG on 40 minutes. He'll be happy with the point. I think both teams will be reasonably happy with the point here, particularly Drogheda, obviously, because they came from behind. Cork started very well in the game, obviously went in front and had some chances in the match as well. No matter how Cork are doing, Turner's Cross can be a fortress and very difficult to go and get a result. So I think Drogheda will be quite happy with the result, particularly where they are in the table, fifth in the table. Cork won't be too disappointed with the point either, if I'm honest with you. They are ninth in the league, of course, on 6 points, but I still think they wouldn't be too disappointed. Both teams have chances to win the game, and I suppose Drogheda nearly nicked it at the death, didn't they? McNally's header, which really looked like it was going into the back of the net, didn't it? Floated over the bar, and entertaining enough game, but I think ultimately both teams reasonably happy with the point there. Dundalk 0, Shamrock Rovers 4 at Oriel Park. We know how difficult Dundalk are to beat at Oriel Park. Only beaten once last season at Oriel, and this is the first defeat of the season at Oriel as well. Rovers, I've been saying it, haven't been playing too badly. I know they haven't won the season up to this point. Strange, but they've just been unlucky in some of the games with red cards and suspensions and late goals they've let in and bits and pieces like that. But some of the games have played well in. Like I've seen them dominate Shelbourne and come away with a point. I felt this was coming. A big win was coming. Not just a win, but a big win. And it was a massive win to go and score 4 at Oriel Park and Dundalk. Gaffney, Grace, Kenny and Burke with the goals. To give them a brilliant win. Of course, at 1-0, Rovers were 1-0 up. Robbie Benson gets sent off, and of course that's going to impact in the game. But I just have a sense Rovers would have won it anyway, to be honest. But his red card, some people think was harsh. I can honestly see why it was given, but do I think it's a bit harsh? Yeah, I think a yellow was enough. There's obviously no malice in it, but you have to understand officials aren't looking at malice; they're looking at what they think is dangerous play. They can't be swayed by was that deliberate or not. But I do think a yellow would have sufficed, if I'm honest, anyway, in that situation. But I can see why they gave it at the same time. You don't have to catch the player for them to have dangerous play. But I probably would have given a yellow as well. So you can see why Dundalk would have been aggrieved with that, to be fair, at the same time. But Rovers are brilliant, relentless. Jack Byrne's playing very well in the last few weeks. Moved the ball quickly. 4 players on the score sheet. Johnny Kenny's really starting to settle in there, in my opinion, as well. So massive win for Rovers, and we'll talk about Derby with Bowls later on, but just feel they're capable of going on a massive run, really big run. I still think they're the only team in the league who potentially win 9 or 10 games in a row, to be honest with you. So because of that and the possibility of that, you wouldn't rule them out. But I really felt like they had to win this game in Dundalk, and to do it impressively was impressive, basically. As for Dundalk, they'll still be happy enough with their start. They're third in the league. They're not going to be challenged for any titles, but they can qualify for Europe again. They'll be delighted with that. And after a rocky first couple of games, they hit back well. This will be a blow to them. Obviously, it's a big defeat. It's a massive defeat. And, I think a lot of teams are going to be up and down this season anyway. But Dundalk, disappointed with the result, but, they're doing okay, I suppose. Shelbourne 0, Derry City 1. I was at this game. And torrential rain, absolutely torrential rain, pretty much all game. I thought it'd be scrappy. First half was actually a good level of football. It surprised me, to be honest, in the conditions. And, Derry City, I thought, for the first 20 minutes or so were absolutely brilliant. They took the lead through Ryan Gray. Now, Shelbourne be disappointed. You can't concede from a corner. In the manner that they did. Graydon side foots at home from inside the 6-yard box. That shouldn't happen from a corner kick. So they'd be disappointed with the goal they gave away, Shelbourne. But Derry deserved it. They had chances. They were moving the ball really well, really quickly, and shifting Shelbourne around, which isn't easy to do. Shelbourne are not a team that can be shifted around very easily, to be honest. And I thought Ollie O'Neill was actually very impressive in this game for a long parts. He needs to brush up in his finishing, though. He missed a great chance again in this game. A couple of other games, he missed good opportunities, but very direct. He'll take players on. And you've got Gray on the other side who does something similar. Ollie O'Neill probably has a bit more skill, though, if you know what I mean. But was impressed with him. And it was a big win for Derry. They are better on the road than they are at home. Big win for them to go on to 15 points, and obviously second in the league at the moment, with 3 points behind Bohemians. But to be fair, Shelbourne's I suppose defence, they actually came back into the game and started to play really well. John Ross Wilson went off injured, so Farrell moved to right back and Levy came on. He was sharp, but he should have scored. He should have scored. He missed a great chance in the first half. Brilliant play by Moylan as he got in behind the defence. Lovely little chop onto his left foot. And it's just a pity he couldn't find a corner. It would have been a brilliant goal save for the keeper, but it comes straight out to Levy, who's on rushing, and he just blasted over the bar. I mean, a bit of composure there, and it's 1-1, and both teams had opportunities in the game, particularly in that first half, and Shelbourne battled well. The second half, then Paddy Barkett sent off. He was booked late on in the first half, and the linesman gives this, and I don't understand it. I thought he must have been sent off for guff, basically a second yellow, but the linesman said he elbowed the Derry player, as might have been McGonigal actually, and said he elbowed the Derry player. He didn't. He just went up, and there was no elbow basically. And the referee went along with the linesman. And I did see Duff's interview, and to be fair, I don't know what I do agree with him. To be fair, I don't know what the referee was seeing at all there. I don't know. It's just a strange one, and that ruined it. Because it comes early enough in the second half, and the first half, in my opinion, was very enjoyable. But it meant that Shelbourne, they were working hard, but it was hard to penetrate. Obviously, Derry with the 10 men. And then Derry, I felt Derry didn't really go for it, though, funnily enough. They kind of kept the ball and were very safe with the ball, even though they were against 10 men. So it kind of made for a bit of a very chessy second half. And in the end, Derry got the 3 points, and they go back up to Derry, 3 points behind ball. Still unbeaten in the league, by the way, this season, Derry as well. But Shelbourne will be happy enough with how they, I think, performed in the game. At Richmond Park against St. Patrick's, like 3, UCD 0, and UCD are bottom of the league on 1 point. And they got out of it last year. I don't see it this year because they've lost a lot of talent, and I don't think they quite have the talent there at this minute to bridge that gap. Not only that, but most of the weaker teams in the league, let's say, are stronger this year as well. So you've got that dynamic going on too, and it just makes it extra hard for UCD. And they're well beaten in this game by Pat's side that were really struggling. But Pat's to be hoping that they'll kick on from this now. It was a comfortable enough win for them, to be honest. And Chris Forrester got both goals in the first half. Not in the first half. He got 2 goals, basically. The first one, a corner kick, and it was headed in by Forrester. An unusual goal for him to score. Creda. He was very good at dead balls, actually. It was very good corner, and Forrester scores. Pats were very good in the first 15 minutes or so that was deserved, to say the least. Mulroney then scores in 38 after good play from Jay McClelland, and good skill by Mulroney, but the keeper gets behind it and knocks it into the net, and it's poor goalkeeping, unfortunately. Very, very poor goalkeeping from Moore. So yeah, that's disappointing for me today, but Pats probably deserved it. Forrester then scores a third after again good play with McClelland, and he gets in and a nice little dink over the goalkeeper, and it finishes 3-0 to Pats. And they'll be hoping they'll be able to kick on from that now, because it was a badly needed win, a bit like Shamrock Rovers in a way, and puts them up to 8 points. Pats will be looking at 3rd and 4th, and strangely they're only 3 points off 3rd, would you believe, for the form they've been in. So they'll be happy, but they'll obviously have to kick on. Then on Saturday, obviously, we had Sligo Rovers and Bohemians, and always be delighted. What a start they've had: 6 wins, 1 defeat. Brilliant start, top of the league on 18 points. We've talked about it before, but Divine seems to have brought a real spirit in there, and they've done it again because Nowak scores with 7 minutes to go to give them a very good win in the showgrounds. A game that, they're starting to get a lot of results that you say, no way would they get that result last year, that kind of way. So James Clark was back in here as well. James Clark was back in for this one as well. He'll add a lot to that team too. Ali Koo's playing very well at the moment. He's back to his best, seemingly. Ali Koo. So that's brilliant for them as well. And, they really have had a fantastic start. And they grounded out results. Showgrounds is not an easy place to go to, and they've gone there and they've grounded out a result. And that's something they've done a couple of times now this season, which if I was a Bows fan, I'd be delighted with. I nearly prefer them with 3 or 4 nil because you can't play well every week. So you have to be able to prove you can get results when not necessarily not playing well, but when the opposition maybe are as good and things like that. And they have done that. So they'd be absolutely delighted with the 3 points in Sligo. And there's a bit of a rhythm to them as well at the moment, as well. A bit of a they look settled as well. I'm very impressed with Casper at the back, by the way. Polish centre back, very impressed with him. I think he's made a real difference since he's come in as well. So I think he deserves special mention. And they don't look as porous at the back. I think last year with Feely and Kelly, I thought they were very poor. And at this minute in time, they don't look like a soft touch, which you'd have to say they were last year. Sligo, for their part, really disappointed with this result. And there would have been some scenes when Nicholas scored at the end. Last kick of the game, corner kick. Brilliant volley from the goalkeeper, McNicholas, and it just goes over the top. It would have been a brilliant goal for anyone to score, let alone a goalkeeper, and that would have been just incredible. But they'll be disappointed losing that game, I think, Sligo at the showgrounds after picking up a point against Derry the week before. And, you know, they tend to, Sligo fans, let me know in the comments as well, they tend to kind of only start playing when they go behind a lot of the games. And that's something that has to change with them because you can't keep that up, let's say. And, it's very difficult to have to come back all the time into a game. And that's the way they've been playing, at times this season. But I do think they probably should have more points than they actually do have so far. Matt has been good. Pineacker has been good there. Hartman has come in. I think he's looked really good as well. So they've had some good performance there this season, and there might be a better side this season than I thought they were initially. So interesting stuff there. Now this Friday we'll go into Friday's games, and I'm going to start off actually with Derry City and Drogheda. Derry City obviously second in the league, Drogheda fifth in the league, 6 points adrift. They'll be happy enough with their start. Drogheda, they're playing quite well. Could do with scoring more goals, but they've only conceded 6. So I think from their point of view, their away form was terrible last season, actually. Terrible last season. Derry played better away from the Brandywell as well. There's a number of factors there. I don't think the pitch suits or helps them really either, to be honest with you. And also just, teams go to the Brandywell and they set up a little bit differently and stuff like that as well. But obviously the last 2 games at Brandywell have been draws, so they'll be hoping to beat Drogheda at home. And they'll be aware that Shamrock Rovers could come up, alongside them as well. So they feel like they'll need to take advantage. They do have a couple of injuries, we know that, Duffy, etc. But as I said earlier, O'Neill has been playing very well for them, in my opinion. Maybe lacks the killer instinct that Duffy has in terms of actual creation and goal scoring. But they have a lot of quality in their team, and you look at their bench, and some of the players are missing, like Dummigan and Adam O'Reilly as well, and they still have a very strong midfield. I think they'll beat Drogheda. I do think they'll beat Drogheda in this game. I go for Derry City 2, Drogheda United 0. Dundalk and Sligo. Dundalk obviously back at Oriel again after that thumping defeat Shamrock Rovers, and they'll be hoping that they can keep up their good form in general and hit back with 3 points here against a Sligo side who could actually go ahead of Dundalk with a win. Again, Sligo have to start better in games, I think. They do. They have to start better in games. Sometimes, as I said, they go behind, then they start playing. That's easier said than done, by the way, when you go to Oriel Park and play Dundalk. And, Dundalk will be hoping to get a couple more goals out of the likes of Hooven and that John Martin. And a couple of players like that. I think they could score more goals as well. I think they're capable of it. Obviously, Benson is suspended for this one, but they've a strong enough midfield. I think Slogish is their main man, in my opinion, in the middle of the park. He's the guy that kind of sets the standards, if you like, and he can get up and down. He mightn't be the best on the ball, that's what I'm saying, but I think I still think he'd be number 1 in my team sheet in midfield by Dundalk, to be honest with you. At the back, they've been quite good as well, surprisingly, actually, because apart from the game against Rovers, obviously, but in general, they've been quite good at the back, kept clean sheets and stuff like that as well. So, this is an intriguing game. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I don't see Dundalk losing twice at home in the space of a week. I could see Sligo nicking a point out of this, but I think I'll just about go for Dundalk to win 1-0. St. Patrick's letting Cork City, and obviously Cork have had some really good results on the road, including a 4-all draw at Shamrock Rovers and a 2-all draw at Sligo, in which they both would be disappointed that they didn't get a win in at least one of those games the way they turned out, which is the funny thing. And Pats will be looking at this, obviously, after the draw and Tala and the win against UCD, that they need to be trying to really getting the 3 points here to try and close in on those teams, especially when Dundalk and Sligo third and fourth playing each other. So they need to do that, close in on those teams, and you know, they need to find a bit of a formula and a bit more of a settled team as well if they can. Obviously, Friday and Monday is a thing as well, but Mulroney's coming into it, he'll probably start again. The midfield they have with Forrester, Lennon, and Craig will probably go again. Who do you play up front is the question for Pats a lot of the time. Owen Doyle doesn't score enough goals for me. And I think Lonergan gives you something different. It gives you better energy. I think he can get them channels better as well. Could do with scoring a goal or two, obviously, but he's been in and out, you see, as well. But had a really good pre-season, though, Lonergan. I don't know. I think Doyle probably start. I'd be tempted to go with Lonergan, to be honest with you. And yeah, they'll be hoping to build that clean sheet because pretty poor at the back this season, Cork, or Pats as well. Cork, though, can score goals, as we've seen. They scored 12 this season, including 4 in Tala. I think they may have scored in every single game this season, actually, Cork. And Keating has been on form. And Coffey is capable of a goal. Just have players in the team that can chip in with goals, I suppose, as well. Bargery as well. I think Aaron Bolger's back as well, so he's a good player. But defensively, they haven't been great either. So it'll be interesting to see how they set up when they go to Inchicore and play Pats. Pats will still be expected a lot in the ball. But Cork don't really sit deep, so it'll be interesting to see how they set up. And as a result, I think Pats might do enough and might have a bit more in the tank, and I think they might win this game by 2-1. UCD and Shelbourne, and unfortunately, it's getting to the point where teams are going to be disappointed if they don't pick up the 3 points against UCD. And Shelbourne put in a decent display against Derry to be hoping to build on that, and they need to go to UCD and get the 3 points. 7 games, though, 4 goals scored, Shelbourne, 4 against. I think they're capable of attacking. They've got Levy, they've got Moylan, they've got Matty Smith, and players of that in those attacking areas. But they're not really playing as centre forward at the moment with Sean Boyd out. But at the same time, you could have a fluid attack there as well. And I thought they played well in Furnace Cross as well, and they got the win. So I think this is a game that Shelbourne can really attack. UCD probably think they have to win this game, to be honest, believe it or not. I mean, okay, their best chance is probably getting the playoff again, but Cork look like are 9th at the moment, and Cork look like they can pick up enough points, don't they? More points than UCD, for example. So I don't know, it's a difficult one for UCD. As I said, they lost a lot of talent, and Myler has done a great job there, but it's just coming down to most of the teams that are going to be lower down in the league have improved, and UCD have regressed. And it's just the way it is with UCD sometimes. The next batch is as good as the last batch, or if they lose too many of the one batch in a year or season, it's a struggle. They are capable of scoring goals still, but conceded 18 this season. Already 18 in 7 games, it's a struggle. And Shelbourne should be able to take advantage of that and get the win here. I think UCD 0, Shelbourne 2. Finally, Bowls and Shamrock Rovers, and the dynamic has definitely changed here, hasn't it? I don't think Bowls or Rovers fans or anyone would have thought for 7 games Bowls would be going into the first Dublin derby against Shamrock Rovers 10 points ahead of Shamrock Rovers, to be honest with you. And these games, we've seen them before, especially Dalymount. You see more drama in the games of Dalymount than Tala. And they take a life of their own, to be honest with you. And anything can happen. Last minute goals, red cards, form going out the window. And in a sense, Rovers winning this would be a bit like form going out the window. But it's unusual for Bowls to be going into a Rovers game ahead in the league, let alone 10 points in the league. And I wonder if that'll change I won't say the mentality of the Bowls team as such, or players, but maybe add a little bit of pressure, that the expectations a little bit higher going into this game. And Rovers picked up a great 3 points when they went to Dundalk. If they could pick up another 3 against an informed Bohemians, I think they're both and running again. And generally Rovers are quite good defensively, but haven't been so far this season. But I think they will improve on that with the settled defence back in play, and that Bowls defensively been quite good as well. It'd be interesting to see how Bowls play. Because normally they're trying to get in Rovers' faces, especially at Dalymans, and they do a good job of doing it. And they almost play like the underdog, to be honest with you. But does that continue into this game? Does the dynamic change a little bit? Do Rovers come into this game and look, say we have to put our authority in this and show how good we are, and that we're still the best team in the country, we need to win? Or do they go into it under a little pressure, knowing it's never easy for them, in particular, no matter what form Bows are in, actually going to Dalymount Park sometimes to get a result? Because Bows have often, there was a game last year where Bows beat them at Dalymount 1-0, Liam Murphy scored, and Bows were poor at that point of the season, but they just upped it for Shamrock Rovers. They were poor after that. So this is a really interesting derby in terms of that. I think Rovers have to go there and stamp their authority on this. And I think if they can get the 3 points, I think they really are up and running to go to Dundalk and inform Bows and get 6 points, be incredible. Bows, a lot of people are waiting for them to drop off a little bit. They won't challenge for the title, there's no doubt about it. But they're really staking a claim for European football, in which I wouldn't have been too confident starting the season that they'd be really in contention for that, if I'm honest with you. So it's an interesting game. Looking forward to it, actually. Really interesting game. And I just sense that Shamrock Rovers will edge this one 2-1. There's bound to be drama as well. Something will happen outside of it, a dodgy penalty or something as well. But look, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think of your club, how well they're doing. The results maybe last weekend, the fixtures this weekend. Throw me a few predictions as well. And we'll leave it there. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and thanks for watching. Bye.